Alright everyone, my name is Bob and today we are going to feed isopod and worm to the aquarium. So stay tuned. Alright, so the main fish we are going to observe eating the isopod are those yellow penchaks. So those killifish right there, they are vicious live food predator. I do have fed them some dry food, so they will accept it, but they get much more aggressive while eating live food. Where is he? Oh yeah, you can... Alright, so he's right there, so I just dropped the isopod. Alright, so the goldfish are going to eat a lot of the food, but just watch and they will get some. Alright, so dropping an isopod. Oh, right there. And oh, wait for it. And there you go. I think that one of the two penchaks got it. Yeah, he got it. He's right here, eating the isopod. I'm picking up all the worms and isopod because we do have some worms in here, as well as millipede in that little terrarium. Now this terrarium was far more beautiful earlier, but at this point I've been feeding so much isopod and things and other small invertebrates, sorry, that I had to make it easier for me to pick them up. But they still do have some food, and they can potentially reproduce in there, if I don't pick them up in time. Alright, so dropping another isopod right here. So the danios and the barbs are going to attack. Actually, all the fish in this aquarium are going to feed on those live food at one point or another. Now the gold barbs are very greedy eaters in the sense that they're going to not hesitate picking up food that are even bigger than themselves. Now, do they consume the entirety of those prey? I don't think so, but they definitely fight each other's for claiming the food. So that's very enjoyable to see. And eventually these isopod, because when they eat the isopod, they pretty much only eat the legs, but I never see any carcasses of isopod, so I will assume that the goldfish will eat most of the rest. Now the penchaks only eat what is really close to the surface, while the goldfish will have a preference for food that is sinking. Alright, now let's get something a bit more interesting. So that's a very small worm. I'm not really that much worried about all the dirt on my fingers. I mean, it's just make the aquarium a planted aquarium. So now the worm, every fish will enjoy eating it. The isopod, only a few fish actually enjoy eating them, but the worms, they do create quite a frenzy, and I really hope the penchaks are going to try to eat that worm. Oh, you can see him stalking the worm. Oh god, have you seen that? That was crazy. And now, as you can see, let me just try to zoom in it. Yeah, he's eating the entire worm back there. Apart from the goldfish, those penchaks are really the best hunters in this aquarium, in the sense that they... Oh, I think that one is eating an isopod that was probably brought back by either a platy or one of the gold barbs. But yeah, those penchaks, they're able to consume quite a lot of food, and it is actually, I've read on the internet that we should be aware of which type of fish we keep with the penchaks, because they have the tendency to eat smaller fish. And trust me, with the size of the mouth on those fish, I'm sorry if I have difficulties to zoom, They kind of like to be in the shadows and all. But with they have a very big mouth, to be honest. Like apart from the goldfish, they have the greatest mouth of this aquarium, and they actually do display quite a lot of colors. I know I originally said they didn't had that much colors, but when they're in the good light, they do. And they seems to have a very good vision as well, and they seems to have a lot of teeth in their mouth, because they are the only fish that are able to snap a worm in half with the only force of their mouth, in the exception obviously of the goldfish. But all the other fish, they kind of have to swallow the worm all, or the small organism, sorry. So yeah. Alright, so we're going to feed the last isopod for today because well, you know, you pretty much get the principle. And anyway, my battery is slowly dying, but yeah, I do feed my fish live food for two reasons. The first one is to encourage some spawning behavior, because since it is spring, most of the fish out there experience two things: a rise of living food and a rise of temperature, and that's really encourage a lot of spawning behaviors from the fish in the wild. So by reproducing that in your aquarium, you have greater chance to reproduce your fish. And now that I have some platies and swordtails and mollies, I do think I'm going to get a bit more breeding activities and have more success into breeding fish. The second reason is to well, first of all, I also just enjoy watching the fish eat live food, but I do think the penchaks prefer quite a lot the live food compared to the flake food and other type of food that I'm feeding this aquarium. So I just want to make sure that those fish, which are really like they're ambush predators, and they're kind of slow except when they need to be fast. So I don't want all the other fish to create too much competition by eating all the flake food. Oh, we have a isopod running from the gold barb right here. All the isopod are able to survive quite a long time, even inside the water, but eventually they all get eaten by probably the goldfish. But yeah, the penchaks, I just like to feed them live food just to make sure they have their belly full. And as I said, it's also very natural for them. Obviously, isopod don't have that much of a nutritional value. Oh, I have a baby worm somewhere on my finger. Come on, get the worm, get the worm. Oh, I think that's it. Whatever. But yeah, I don't think the isopod don't have that much of a value, but I do think it's good for the fish to have something to hunt and be inclined to eat a lot, you know. So overall, I just think it is more natural. I don't think it is necessary, but it's also just something interesting to watch. So thanks out for watching, everyone, and I will see you all real soon for the next one. And yeah, ciao.